For the last year, MOZA's best motor technology lived only in their flagship bases, the R21 and R25 Ultra. The $800 plus machines most people just look at and sigh. Yesterday, MOZA took that exact motor technology and dropped it into a base costing $529. That's the R16 Ultra, and it's a more interesting launch than the spec line suggests. Let me explain why. Start with the number everyone sees first, 16 Newton meters of constant torque. That's a lot, comfortably more than most people will ever use, and we'll come back to whether you actually need it. But the torque is not the story. The motor making it is. The R16 Ultra uses MOZA's new zero-cogging flat wire motor, the same design family that debuted in the flagship R21 and R25 Ultra last year now trickled down. And that phrase, zero-cogging, is the whole point of this base. So let me explain what it actually means, because it matters. Cogging is that faint notchy, steppy feeling some direct drive motors have when you turn the wheel slowly, like it's very gently clicking through tiny detents. It's a side effect of how the motor is built, and it's the enemy of fine detail because it adds a texture that isn't coming from the car. It's noise on the line. A motor with cogging is quietly muddying the very signal you're trying to feel. MOZA's flat wire motor is engineered to have effectively none of it. The result is a smoother, cleaner rotation, and crucially, fine road detail comes through without that mechanical grain sitting on top of it. On top of that, MOZA claims 12% higher torque density than similarly sized rivals, so you get that 16 Newton meters from a compact housing that stays cool under sustained load. Pair that motor with the 21-bit encoder, the next-gen Force U1 algorithm, and iRacing 360Hz support, and what you've got is genuinely flagship tier smoothness and detail at a distinctly non-flagship price. So where does it sit? The R16 Ultra replaces the outgoing R16, and in MOZA's lineup, it slots neatly between the R12 V2, around $400, and the R21 Ultra, up near $850, which tells you exactly who it's for. This is not a beginner's base. If you're new, the R12 or an R9 is plenty, and you'd be paying for headroom you won't touch. The R16 Ultra is for the driver who's already passed their first base, knows they're serious, and wants that flagship zero-cogging smoothness without crossing into flagship pricing. That's the sweet spot it's aiming at, and it hits it. Now the comparison people will immediately ask for. How does it stack up against Simucube, the brand that basically defines the high end? Take the Simucube 3 Sport. It makes 15 Newton meters. The R16 Ultra makes 16, so slightly more headroom, and it undercuts on price while handing you MOZA's entire integrated ecosystem, wheels, pedals, dashboards, shifters, all from one brand that just works together. That's the MOZA pitch, and it's a strong one. But I'm not going to tell you it simply beats Simucube, because it doesn't, not on everything. What Simucube still gives you is a more refined, more mature tuning software, and an open ecosystem philosophy. You're not locked into one brand's wheels. For experienced racers who love to tinker and want maximum openness, that still has real value. So it's a genuine trade. The R16 Ultra wins on torque, price, and one brand convenience. Simucube wins on software polish and freedom. Which one matters more is about you, not about which is objectively better. And that lock-in point is worth saying plainly. Buying the R16 Ultra buys you into MOZA's world. If you ever leave, you're rebuying rims, because the quick release won't carry over. That's true of every ecosystem, but be aware you're choosing a garden when you buy the base, not just a base. So, the honest verdict. The R16 Ultra is the standout value story of this MOZA drop. It takes the flagship's best feature, that clean, zero-cogging flat wire motor, and makes it affordable to a serious mid-tier racer for $529. Just don't buy it for the 16 Newton meter headline. Buy it for the motor underneath, because that smoothness is the thing you'll actually feel, lap after lap. If breakdowns like this help you spend smarter, subscribe. Cutting through the hype so you know exactly what your money buys before you spend it is the entire point of this channel.